All right, happy Monday, everybody. It's Raiderland Helmet Sticker Day coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios, brought to you by South Plains College, where a lot of great Red Raiders start off as great Texans. And, of course, by Domino's Pizza. Monday Night Football. Get the app, Domino's.com, and get some great tasting pizza coming your way. We got a lot of things we're going to get to. Obviously, we hand out Raiderland Helmet stickers on Monday. We might tell some Bob Knight stories today. And then we have Texas Tech football taking on Kansas, and the Red Raiders are an underdog to Kansas. Are we really living in a world where Kansas football is better than Texas Tech? I have a hard time accepting that. Will not lie. All right, you guys get in on the United Supermarkets text line, your tailgating headquarters in West Texas and beyond. 806-772-0197. Use that if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube. That way we get your comments. It's just like the old radio show. Alan is watching. CJ getting in. You guys getting in as well. Give you just a second. The early arrivals, you know what to do. Give us heart. Give us thumbs up. Let us know the audio is good. The video is good. And then we get on down the road. And we want to get out a lot of helmet stickers today. Recognize those people that have been awesome, sports or otherwise. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. That's where you start your day. We got morning hot links every day for you, cool stuff from around the net, our questions of the day, and our thoughts going into the day. So check it out in the morning, post your comments, and then get ready to come back here in the evening for the daily broadcast. You're brought to you by Domino's Pizza and, of course, South Plains College tonight. We're in the Arctic Air Studios. If your air gets a little too Arctic coming up on Thursday when this cold front blows through, call the bear, call the bear. .com. Chris, Michael, Stacy, Celia, all getting in tonight. And everything else. And what that may imply. And even right off the bat on the United Supermarkets text line, do you think Chad Hasty will go full-blown hasty after dark covering the vote tomorrow? I don't even think he's going to cover it tomorrow. I don't even know that he's a part of it on KFYL, local radio. Man about the state, filling in for Mark Davis in the Metroplex last week. Yeah, I don't even know if he rolls out of bed for an election like this. It's not a presidential election or anything else. All right, so you know how to do the helmet stickers. Those who deserve recognition, who get your helmet stickers today. A lot of people think it's tech only. No, I mean, it's anything and everything. In fact, if you read the column this morning, if you read TheRaiderland.com, did you read my column yesterday? It's like Don Williams. 5 things we know on a Sunday. Hope you did. Most of mine have nothing to do with sports. And then we got to talk about Tech football tonight. You know, got to talk about it. 3.5-point underdog, and it ain't because there's a home field advantage. We probably did have a discussion at some point. The idea of home field advantage, even in college football, is really going away in a major way. A lot of people just still adhere to the old idea of, oh, yeah, you get 3 points for being at home. That's certainly not the case. In the NFL, virtually no home field advantage built into any of the betting lines, and less in college football. And I guarantee you, if Kansas gets anything for being at home, it might be a half point, maybe, but not much more than that. So are we really living in a world where Kansas football is better than Texas Tech, or is just Kansas football better than Texas Tech right now? The difference between a program and a season, the difference between a football program and a football team having a season. Hasty better than Pratt. There you go. Yeah. People laugh. James is watching. What James doesn't know is we're watching you, James. Cameron is watching. And you guys on the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. The 11 a.m. kick is a benefit for Tech. It really, truly hasn't been, for the most part in the past. It has been some hideously slow starts in Lawrence for the early games. But that was back when they only had like 500 people. Now that they've got 5,000, the atmosphere is, dare we say, raucous. Monday press conference today, McGuire, DeRuiter, Kitley, nothing really. Nothing. When you have no game on the weekend and you come back with a Monday presser, you really get pretty much nothing out of it. And we pretty much got nothing out of it today. Nothing that would be import news, nothing along those lines. What a difference a quarterback makes. Can you imagine Morton at 90%? Would like to think he's probably pretty good at 90%. You'd like to think that. And had a whole lot of chances to see it, but we'd like to think that. Day games in Lawrence are a win for Tech every time. Night games, 2019. Yeah. Well, and even is it before 19? The 19 was the mishandled kick. You've had some really tough ones over the years there. Slow starts, night, whatever. But it was the last place Matt Wells won, I believe. The last win was in at Kansas for Matt Wells. Tech will be as healthy as they've been all season except for Wyoming. Yeah. We'll see what it looks like. Lonnie is watching. Hi, Lonnie. So who gets some of your helmet stickers today? We do this every Monday. There are many helmet stickers. There's only one Raiderland Helmet Sticker, highly coveted, sought after by many, sports or otherwise. I got to give my first one out. Kevin Harvick gets a helmet sticker. Great NASCAR career. My last driver. I'm done. I'm not getting any more drivers. He was the last pivot driver that I had after all my drivers got as old as I was or older. And I can't bring myself to root for a 20-something in just about any sport. So now I just have to be a fan of racing, which NASCAR is making it more and more difficult to do that every single day. But yeah, another top 10 finish at Phoenix. I don't care what configuration you put that track in. Harvick's going to go fast there. He had great qualifying runs, finished top 10 again. The young guns are all gone now. Yeah, every single one of them all retired now from that early 2000s NASCAR media blitz, the Gillette young guns. Chris, I'm more worried about our blitzing DeRuiter, our blitzing DeRuiter at Lawrence. You got to bring pressure. You just got to get pressure home. This team, this front is just not good at pass rush lane and contain and getting home. They get upfield, and I think teams take advantage of that. They get penetration. They just don't get home. You got to get home. Kyle Busch still around, but he's a D-bag. Yeah, but Kyle wasn't one of the young guns originally, and I don't consider him my era really at all. You know, Shrub's gotten a little better over the years, but not much. Michael says, I'm sure a lot of Kansas fans will be wherever the basketball team will be, so I don't think it'll be home field advantage. They're getting better crowds there. James, come join the world of dirt bike racing. 20 minutes easier to watch. Yeah, I ain't got nothing against it. It just doesn't do much. But I do enjoy the phrase hole shot. Any sport that's got the phrase hole shot in it, sign me up for that. Oh, by the way, it's also National Nacho Day. Did you know that? Of course you did. You're highly informed individuals. National Nacho Day. So I guess we could talk best nachos. Does anybody really do bad nachos? I guess there's some places who do bad nachos. DJ's Dugout, Omaha, Nebraska, downtown. Nachos every day. So good during the College World Series. So Kevin Harvick gets one. Let's see what else. Who else is going to get one today? Oh, yeah. Chloe at the Lubbock Home Depot. They're on the loop. I went yesterday to pick up a new Christmas tree, and it showed on the app. Let's just stop right there, shall we? It showed on the app that they had 742 of this in stock. I'm moderately exaggerating. Of which I've learned that, and it's not just Home Depot, but just almost any big box or any place like that that shows at a general location that they have so many. No. They're just guessing. They're making that up. It's coming from somewhere else. So, of course, the one I wanted, they didn't have one on the floor. Fret not. Ed is in the back with the forklift. He's going to get one momentarily. So Chloe's helping me out. Well, a few minutes go by. She comes back by, checks on. This goes on for hours and hours and hours. I was there for 12 hours yesterday. But she kept checking. She kept working. And she kept coming by. You need anything? Would you like a wheelchair, sir? Anything? And she eventually got Ed to get the last version of this tree down and brought it out to me, and this is the killer. This is what hurt the most. All right. This may be why she's getting the she's getting it for great customer service, the helmet sticker. But she asked me, this hurt. Do you need a card or anything to take that out? It's a 7.5-foot artificial Christmas tree in a box, the two handles and everything. I'm like, I think I can probably get this. I think I'm all right on this. So, and she was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're kind of you're old man strong, like my dad. Like your dad. Yeah, that kind of stung, man. Old man strong. I don't mind being old man strong. The only way to be that is to be old, I suppose. That just stung. Just look. Old man strong. I'm my dad. So then I am hauling this tree out there. Carry. There's no easy way to carry them that way, but I'm built in then. I got to do it. And of course, I can't. I missed my truck by 2 rows over. So now I'm just the old guy wandering around the Home Depot parking lot with a Christmas tree. Where the hell is it? I know it was right over here. It was, oh crap, it's over there. I had to set it down for a second. All right. It's killing your fingers, those little plastic straps. Awful. Chloe gets a helmet sticker today. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season, says John, and I've got to hit the C more. The beginning of the season, we would be battling not to beat Kansas, and we're playing Kansas. You cannot make things like this up. Sure you can. Happens all the time, college football and otherwise. What's best, melted cheese on the nachos or the petroleum-based cheese product you get at most concession stands? Yes. Yes, it is. I like the cheese out of a can on nachos, even at a fancy restaurant. That's fine. Really, the ultimate would be a great queso, what we consider queso, and then do that. Back in the old day, Nick's Sports Grill and Lounge, you could get this done right. Spicy buffalo chicken nachos. They'd get the spicy buffalo chicken, you'd get their queso, and you'd do that on their regular nachos, in addition to the regular cheese that they had on there. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Really good. I don't know if you can do that at the Reserve or not. Kind of depends on who there's. Old man strong, boom, yeah. The beard gives it away. Yeah, can't hide it anymore. Old man strong. Now that's the saying. Yeah, old man strong. Craig, sorry I'm late. What's the subject tonight? Well, it says so right there. Raiderland Helmet Stickers, Bob Knight stories, and are we living in a world where Texas Tech is worse than Kansas in football? Yeah. So are we? You're a 3.5-point dog. How did we get here? Is it a season issue or is it a program issue? How many of you think that Kansas has passed Texas Tech as a football program? I asked that question of you. We could talk about the Cowboys, but there's no reason to. I give Dak Prescott a helmet sticker because he, like, man before him and Tony Romo, continues to be asked to be something he's not. They continue to ask him to be an elite quarterback, and he's not. He's a slightly better than average to good quarterback in the NFL, one of many in that kind of middle. But because he plays for the Cowboys, and because Jerry Jones said so, and because Jerry Jones pays him, then he automatically has to be this great elite quarterback. Cowboys haven't had an elite quarterback. They've had 3 elite quarterbacks in their history. 3 elite quarterbacks in their history. Don Meredith, who unfortunately played in an era when Green Bay Packers were ruling the world in the National Football League. Roger Staubach, who won 2 Super Bowls, and Troy Aikman. They've had 3 elite quarterbacks. That's it. It's funny how franchises seem to do really good when they have an elite quarterback. Just like Bill Belichick. I mean, really, if we follow the Belichick way in New England, shouldn't he be gone? Because he's no longer performing, and that was what he did for 20 years, is get rid of people as quickly as possible, Stephen McGee. He should be gone. If you want to be a Hall of Fame coach, get you a Hall of Fame quarterback. Go find me any Hall of Fame coach and show me that he coached without having a Hall of Fame quarterback. Jared, I worked at the rec center one Saturday morning. I'm cleaning puke on the running track, and I hear What the hell was that? Everyone stopped. That was Coach Knight. There you go. Yeah. Odd. Dak, second best quarterback, Texas. C.J. Stroud. Hi there. Season issue says Bannon on Texas Tech and Kansas. Craig, Bob Knight once gave me an autographed basketball for not bothering him while others were asking for his autograph while he was having dinner with Gerald Myers at 50th Street Caboose. You buried the lead there. They were having dinner at 50th Street Caboose. No offense. Longtime sponsor Williams and Hyatt show Thursday nights live at 50th Street Caboose. Home of the Thursday night special on the show, My Babe is Smarter Than Your Babe, from back in the 1990s, if you remember. They were eating at 50th Street Caboose. March 29, 1994, the end of the era. Ben's watching. Elway made Shanahan look good. Elway made a lot of people look good. Made Dan Reeves good. Dak didn't seem to perform well in the moment. How can he step out of bounds when he's going for two? Well, he went out of bounds. He got too close to the sideline, you see. He went out of bounds. Did you see the rating? And was it the quarterback rating either in the fourth quarter or fourth quarter in close games? Hurts was like a 112 and Dak's like a 60-something. There you go. A lot of that is people around him. Chris, I remember when Coach Knight shows up at an LCU game when I was a student there. All right, so Bob Knight stories tonight. I'll tell you a couple. Helmet stickers. Did you guys see the latest Tech basketball kind of behind the program video where it starts off and they're showing the McCaslins at home and they bought some farmland outside of Lubbock, and here's to the McCaslins and the miniature donkey that they've got. I think they've got two. My in-laws had three at one time. Loved the donkeys. The miniature donkeys were great. Referred to it as their little half-ass rodeo. So that was the deal he made with the family, that if we move one more time, I was going to get them some land where we could have animals. So he got them a nice little spread out there. Michael got to see Bob Knight post-game press conference after the Kevin Durant game. Like you were in the press conference there at United Supermarkets Arena. Is that what you mean? They're deep within the bowels of the arena. Stacy in Lamesa, Aunt Ellis' granddad's store. Bob Knight was announced as head coach. Another customer. Hold on. Asked Mr. Ella if he was worried about Coach Knight. Choking in something. The boy ever paid any attention to me, he'll only try it on Andy once. It's funny. Does beating Kansas in men's basketball and baseball make up for losing to Kansas in football? I see. At best, the McCaslins have a little Joe Biden. See what you did there. Helmet sticker, United Supermarkets. Got my first eggnog of the season yesterday. There will be more. You guys get in on the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. Easy to do. All right, so you guys want me to tell some Bob Knight stories? We can if you want to. You can give out some more helmet stickers. We can talk about Tech football. Nobody wants to talk about Tech football. Beating Kansas in meat judging. Far more than football. Helmet sticker to Leipold. Yeah, he's doing a nice job up there. He's going to be fine, I think, in Ann Arbor next year. Yes, please, on what, David? Shouldn't you be shooting promos for the 10 o'clock right now? You got out of there early tonight. Donald finally getting in. We start at 6:30, Donald. The show starts at 6:30. Pretty much every day, 6:30-ish. 6:30 to 7. It's not hard. If you can't be on time, perhaps you need to look for another class. I have Bob Knight stories, but hey, statute of limitations, it's all over. It's good. The full name, Robert Montgomery Knight, says Chris, for no reason whatsoever. David Collier says, Mark, how are you? Hold on, I want to go back up on that one. You guys, your stuff on the screen goes by real quick. I have to scroll back up and hit all sorts of stuff. David Collier, hi, how are you doing? I hope everything goes well. Pardon me for my manners. I was browsing through Facebook, came across your profile. It looks so much charming and exciting, so I decided to add you to my friend. Kindly give me a friend request. What the hell is that? That is great. That is awesome. Way to go, Collier. Fan club. Chris, favorite Bob Knight photo was when he came out for a game against UTEP in Haskins sports coat. The Bear, Don Haskins. Haskins in the sweater. Hi, how are you doing? I hope everything goes. Oh, look, good. Chris getting one. You a fan? It's dark outside. Tells you got out late. Yeah, you're late too. Hi there, Jared. Jared. Oh, look, Mark. Mark is just spamming us all the way. I guess hold on a second here. See if I can do. It's a pain in the butt to do this Facebook. Clock management. Well done. See, when I go to try to block that during the show, it won't let me do it. Oh well. Yeah, we have an AI in our midst. Yeah, block it. Block and report. Texas State School president for making good on his promise to jump in the San Marcos River when the Bobcats became bowl eligible. Good for him. Good Texas Tech guy doing radio for Texas State. Clint Shields, who worked with us at KKM back in the day. Sports Radio 1340 also did a lot of crickets broadcasts with Steve Dell. Clint down there doing good. Hi there, Trace. How you doing today? Oh man, this is good. I like this. Maybe send a friend request. So soon be followed by a request for bank account info. Yeah. Oh man, it's too good. Red River for making snow on the slopes. Yeah, last couple of days. All right, a couple of. I'll give you one Bob Knight story here. So we are playing in Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming. This is about 03 maybe. I think 03, 02 or 03. Preseason, non-conference. And it's Lady Raiders and Techmen playing a doubleheader. Big deal. They're in Casper, not Laramie, but they go to Casper and they play these special one-off games. So we fly up there. The men and the women fly up there together on the charter flight, right? Lady Raiders win pretty easily. Did they talk very often? Yeah, they talked some. Not a whole lot. They had a professional relationship, but they didn't talk a whole lot. So we up there, Lady Raiders play first, win moderately easy. The men end up losing a close game, and they don't play particularly well. You know? Don't play particularly well. And I'm sitting there going, this flight is going to absolutely suck going back. So go backwards during the day. I like to fly fish. Bob Knight likes to fly fish. So there was a moderately famous fly fishing shop there in Casper that I went to. And while I was there, Bob showed up, and I can't remember who else was with Bob. And we're there at the fly shop, and I'm looking around, whatever. And I bought a couple of flies just because they had some interesting ones there. I wasn't going to get to go fishing on the trip. None of us had time. And I bought a cap there in Casper at the fly shop. So, hey, coach, we'll see you later on the game, whatever, everything else. Game and everything. So they get beat. We win. Get on the charter flight. We get on first. We're waiting for the men. So I'm sitting in the middle of the plane at the back of the Lady Raider section. And the next part of the plane was where the men are going to start. And while I'm sitting there, that's when when Coach Myers sits down right behind me. And like, hell. That means Coach Knight's going to be sitting behind me. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be whatever. So they finally get on the plane. He's one of the last ones to get on. We're waiting to go. He sits down, says something to Gerald or whatever. We're sitting there waiting. Now we got to wait for something else. So we're sitting here waiting to take off. And I'm like, God almighty, this is going to, whatever. So he tells one of the managers, tell the players something about when we get back, do this or whatever. And I'm just sitting there. I got a book or something. And all of a sudden, whack. somebody thumping my chair, my seat, right? Turn around. Oh, it's Coach Knight. Hey. What do you think of that fly shop? That was a pretty good shop. A lot of places you go into and they really don't have much of a selection. There's nothing really there that you could just get it at Walmart. And did you look at some of the elk hair caddis and some of the nymphs that they had there? And those locally hand tied. And I'm like, okay. So for about 10 minutes, we talked fly fishing and fly shop. Yeah. So you got a hat. I don't buy a lot of hats in those places. I don't wear a lot of caps like that for one thing. I've got my own style, and they ought to pay you. They ought to pay you to wear their hat. They're going to put their name on that. They ought to pay you to wear the hat. Did you see some of the Sage stuff that they had there? They're an authorized dealer for Sage. I used to get Sage stuff for free, and 10 minutes, whatever. Yeah. It's good. I'm taking one for the team right now. Literally, I'm keeping Bob Knight occupied. We're talking about this, and then the conversation kind of dries up, and we're about maybe 10 minutes into the flight. What? Hey, Coach. Hey, where do you go? Around, some stock tanks. Now, we've talked about stuff like this at practice before, but there was hardly any talk on the way back between him and Coach Myers on basketball, the performance of the team, or whatever. It was about being in Wyoming. I was like, this is that dichotomy of Bob Knight that is so hard to explain to different people. I saw a lot of different aspects of Bob Knight. I was fortunate to be in a lot of practices. Watch a lot of practices, all that sort of stuff. And I saw the gamut of Bob Knight during those practices. The happy, the unhappy, the teacher, the educator, the profane, everything in between. And that was one of those moments that you thought, all right, this is going to be awful. And it wasn't. He was also, we could do stories and stories. The one when he was introduced and then threw out the first pitch at Danlaw right when he got hired, he comes up in the booth with me and Mark Finkner. And I thought Finkner was going to kill him day one because somebody threw a pitch and Finkner, I think, called it a curveball or something. And Bob Knight, who's sitting between us, pats him on the leg and goes, that was a slider, son. You don't correct Mark Finkner. I think he's going to kill him. 20-something years later, I think Finger's still PO'd about that. He'd be up at the station, happy, whatever, and then, different stuff. But he became not fascinated. That's too strong a word. At first, I don't think he knew who I was for the longest time. I think he thought I was a manager for the Lady Raiders or something. And then he finally realized what I did, maybe, I guess, and it kind of stuck. But he was intrigued by my Western belts and buckles and different things. So I'd get there and be setting up for a Lady Raider game if they were working at whatever. He might come over and say, hey, what do you got on today? Is that a new one? Where do you get those? Boot City, it's a good place. One money saving mom. I'd look like a clown in that. Yeah, but I like those. I can't wear them. There's nothing I got that I can wear those things with. But those are good. Kurt Gowdy used to wear that. True story. Kurt Gowdy used to wear a lot of stuff like that. He tried to get me to wear it. It was just the most random things that I realized later on that was how, and it took me a few years to kind of figure this out. That was kind of how I think Bob Knight slotted people and put them in different positions in his mind. That I was radio announcer, fly fish guy, wore Western clothes and belts and boots. Boom, 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 boom. We had those things. Setting up, I can't remember. We were setting up for a game one time. Men were practicing, and one of the students or somebody came over and said, you probably don't even need to be in here right now. He's really in a mood. You should probably, I said, I don't have a choice. I got a job to do. I got to set up, hook into the network. I don't have a choice. Yeah, well, he's not, yeah, he was on the show a couple of times. exactly right in the slots for people, says David. Um, you probably don't. You should probably just come back. I said, I don't have a voice. I got to do this. And that's when Knight comes walking over. And I mean, the student all of a sudden he just vanishes into thin air like he's gone. And again, that's a shirt right there. Whatever I had on. Now that's a shirt. Shirt guy, boot guy, belt guy, fly fish guy, basketball guy, media guy. So there we go. I missed some of your comments. You can fire them away. I'll give you a little bonus time. Knight, and I'll sum it up like this. Somebody asked me one time after Knight retired, I was doing a national show, and they were like, so, what was it like covering Bob Knight all those years? What was it like being around Bob Knight, daily basis? I said, honestly, after 10 years or so, however long it was, I don't know that I felt like I knew Bob Knight any more than I did the day he showed up on campus. I don't know that I felt like I knew Bob Knight any more than when he was at Indiana. That he was here, I was around him. He allowed us to know and learn what he allowed. We were friendly. We were not friends. To my knowledge, he never had anything against me. But after all that time, I don't know that I ever felt like I really knew him that much better. A little bit, but not much. And this is another time for another deal, that during that time frame, to cover two of the most enigmatic, strangely, oddly fascinating people in one town in Lubbock, Texas, and Mike Leach and Bob Knight, and for them both pass within a year of each other. The irony is not lost upon me, and that we dealt with it every day covering those two. And when I say dealt with it, I don't mean that in a negative way, but that was just normal from 2000 to 2010 or whatever. That it was until later on that I realized, wow, we had two of college athletics' most polarizing, interesting, weird people to be around, that I had the fortune. I consider myself fortunate. Believe me, I've got more stories. But to have both of them at the same time is just really, really still weird to this day. Helmet sticker to my wife. She took care of 3 sick kids, 2 stomach bugs, and 3-year-old with strep. Bless her heart. There's some nasty stomach stuff going through. Everyone in this house has had it over the last couple of weeks. Harvick gets a helmet sticker. We mentioned that earlier. Glad I got to see him coach in person on a trip out to Lubbock, Joe. Yeah. And you don't mean it in a positive way either. It's just the way it was. I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring to, but yeah, it's just the way it was. Some good, some bad, some whatever. It's just the deal. Michael gets in late. And we'll tell more stories as the years go by. But the whole coming back from Wyoming, it's going to be nightmare. I mean, I'd read Playing for Knight. I'd read Season on the Brink. I knew what he was like on plane flights. I knew what it was. And totally different. Yeah, Leach and Knight, just the way it was. It was just what we did. Off the United Supermarkets text line, I feel if both those people were still around, they'd get canceled. Unfortunately, they were very interesting characters. They got canceled kind of while they were around. They both fought a little bit of that, even during their careers and everything else. Obviously, I got fired. You don't get much more canceled than that. It's hard to get much more canceled than fired. So yeah, I would agree with you to an extent. But yeah, to have both of those people on campus same time, and that was every day. Thank God for Larry Hayes. Poor old Larry Hayes, nice and boring. And he and Bob were, I guess they were friends. You'd have to ask Larry, but they were friendly. Jeremiah transferred to for Bob Knight, and was an academic advisor. The presenters had to let us know it wasn't Coach Knight, it was someone else. That's funny. I vaguely remember that there was another, we have Rob Knight, longtime tech guy, among other things. That I vaguely remember that there's another Bob night on campus and everything else. Nacho day. Why would you ever get nachos without jalapenos? You don't have to eat them, but always get them. If they're handing out free stuff, always get them. Why would you not? We have to talk more nacho talk tomorrow. We run out of time tonight. Tuesday's best. Let's just have a couple. You don't have to eat all of them. Tuesday's best. Tomorrow, best thing I ever ate. Maybe we'll do some nachos on best thing I ever ate. We can continue that discussion. All right, we got to say goodbye to the people on Twitter and on YouTube. It asked us to end the stream. Yes. Then it asked us again, in the stream? I wasn't going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I am. I'm going to do it right now.